Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our evening event. This evening we have 5 institutions that will be representing themselves in the Reno Fair. We have Columbia College of Chicago. We have the University of Tennessee in Knoxville, Drexel University, Spelman College, and Michigan State University. First up to bat is Columbia College of Chicago.
All right, Jeff, thanks so much for moderating and for keeping us on track and on time and entertained. And for all of you tuning in, happy whatever day this is, and I hope you are staying well. I also want to give a shout out to my awesome colleagues. It's great to see some familiar faces, see some old time friends, and also to meet some new friends this evening. I am Marty with Columbia College Chicago. I want to welcome you all to screenshot or jot down any of this contact information as you need to. And you also have the ability to scan your cell phone up to that QR code to get in contact with me and get some more information about Columbia College Chicago. Columbia is a school devoted entirely to creatives. So all of our programs, really all of the work that our students are doing is somehow rooted in producing or supporting creative work. I don't like saying we're an art school because I think our approach to education is much more nuanced and complicated, but it looks very artsy from sort of the satellite image. We are totally a liberal arts college, meaning that all of our students study some math, some science, some history. Those subjects really, we feel, are ingredients and context for your creative work. And all of our students study some level of business or marketing or entrepreneurship. So students at Columbia definitely experience Chicago. We're located in downtown Chicago. We have a very vertical campus. It's kind of spread out over many blocks. And we really want our students to engage with Chicago as part of their educational experience. I think it's a responsibility of creatives to contribute life and culture, your experiences, to our own city. With that comes collaborating with difference. We have quite a diverse student population that I'll talk about here in a minute. Suffice it to say, hands-on learning, so students get into the programs that they're into right away. This is actually an image from one of our classes meeting on campus this fall. And the end goal being to network and hopefully advance your careers, whatever it is that you're interested in doing. So some demographics about Columbia. We are a school of around 7,000 students, just under 7,000 students, mostly undergrad students. 99% of our students currently are receiving aid, which is awesome. 60% of our students self-identify as students of color, 25% self-identify as first-gen college students. So again, really diversity, equity, and inclusion, that's what we're about. That's what we feel advances creative work. And more importantly, that's what keeps our work relevant and mattering. We've got 50 states represented at Columbia. We have over 60 countries represented at Columbia. So any walk of life, any ambition, any ideal, any value is going to be welcomed and celebrated at Columbia College Chicago. Our main academic areas focus on the media and digital arts, the performing arts, the visual arts, music and sound arts, communication and writing, and then the business and management programs that support the creative industries. On this next slide, there we go. You'll see a much deeper dive into the programs and the degree types that we offer. But I always like to encourage you students that are looking at this, and you guests that are looking at the slide, to also, take a look outside of what it is the thing that you're maybe most interested in. I think Columbia has a good fortune of being a school that is relatively creatively self-contained, in the sense that our creative others exists at Columbia. And we really, like all schools, want to celebrate interdisciplinary work, cross-disciplinary work, and really supporting students in other programs, and likewise those students supporting you. Last but not least, we got to talk about the good and the fun stuff. Applying to Columbia, I think it's relatively straightforward, but there are 2 ways to apply: Common App or our application. We truly try to embody as much and always a holistic application review process. We look at every single application. I'm your admission rep, by the way. We have a rolling admission process. We've always been test optional, especially this year. Auditions and portfolios will vary by your major and your program. And unfortunately, some of the deadlines vary. So again, if you have any questions, just give me a shout and I'll help you out with that regard. And students who are admitted are automatically considered for scholarships, and any student who submits an audition or portfolio It's considered for talent-based scholarships. We do encourage all of our applicants to submit a FAFSA if possible. That will be used for need-based scholarships as well as any federal financial aid available to you. And of course, if you are unable to file the FAFSA, let's have an offline conversation about that, because we do have financial aid for students who are unable to submit a FAFSA. You can learn more about our application, all of the requirements and such at colum.edu/apply. And my friends, here once more is my contact information. You'll see another code if you want to get in contact with me. You'll see a link to our virtual events that we are doing this fall. And again, my email and phone number. Most importantly, I want to wish you all well. I hope that you will stay engaged and inspired. And remember to be good to yourself and each other. And I'm going to hand it off to a lovely colleague who I have not seen in quite a long time, but Jordan represents a great school with a great sports program in a great state. And we're going to hand it off to the University of Tennessee. Good to see you again, Jordan.
So good to see you. You're the best. I'm so glad I got a chance to see you tonight, even virtually. And that's how we do it, right, students? We're just doing the best that we can, even if it's virtually. So we are going to talk about the University of Tennessee. So my name is Jordan Berner, and I'm the Regional Admissions Representative for the University of Tennessee. I am a proud alumna of the University of Tennessee and a Knoxville native, so I may be a little bit biased, but trust me, there's a lot to be excited about whenever I talk to you about UT. So we are located in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is in East Tennessee. We are at the foot of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park in the third largest city in the state. So it is considered an urban wilderness school. So that means there's an urban environment. There's also a lot of nature around, lots to be excited about. If you see that tall structure right there with the gold ball at the top, that is the World's Fair, 1982 World's Fair structure called the Sun Sphere. And that will just give you an idea. That's the kind of dividing line between campus. So that starts where campus ends, and then all those buildings you can see are downtown. So we're just a mile walk from downtown. And we're just a short drive to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, which is the most visited national park in the United States. So if you want to hike, if you want to mountain bike, if you want to go to the ski resort that's over there, if you like Dolly Parton and her theme park, who doesn't love that? There's so much to do whenever you go to the Great Smoky Mountains. So lots to enjoy. And even on our campus, you can see the student hanging out there in the hammock. That happens on our campus as well. We are also a maker city. So that means that whether it's music or art or food, I mean, who doesn't love food? There's all kinds of things going on in Knoxville, and we're just a mile walk, like I said. Super easy to get to as well. We're just 15 minutes away from the McGee Tyson Airport. So I know you're already excited. You already want to visit just from what I've told you, but let me tell you a little bit more about why Knoxville is awesome. So we're home to some of the largest corporations. We're home to the second largest cinematic corporation in the country, Regal Cinemas. I'm sure you recognize that. How about Mastercraft and C-Ray? I'm sure you guys recognize some of these other groups, but one I want to highlight is Oakridge National Laboratory. That's where the Manhattan Project took place. So if you know anything about history, we do have an internship with them. And if you know what happened at the Manhattan Project, you would know that internship is the bomb. It's pretty great. But there are some other great internship opportunities. Like I said, it's so close to campus downtown. I had an internship at the federal building where I worked for the U.S. Department of Labor Wage and Hour Division, had government clearance as a freshman in college. It was pretty great. But why really would you want to leave campus very much at all when it looks like this? So make sure you have an Apple Watch or a Fitbit or a step tracker of some kind, because you're going to be walking. This campus is 910 acres of pure beauty. You can see it in front of me. You can see it behind me. The campus is gorgeous. And there's so much that you want to do whenever you get on our campus. So let me tell you a little bit about it. We do have 23,000 undergraduate students, which means that we are considered a large school. We are a land grant institution, R1 Carnegie distinction, which basically is just the new version of a tier 1 research institution. We have 360 undergraduate programs to choose from. Y'all, if you want it, we probably haven't. We've been around since 1794. We were a school before we were a state. So we probably do it well. We are excellent in academics, which is why we have honors and scholars programs, honors concentrations. And my favorite, we are NCAA Division I in the SEC, the best conference in the nation. I'm sure I got a couple people on here that would agree with that. So we do have 23 national championships under our belt. We do like to win games. Sports are a huge part of our environment on campus. We have a lot of traditions, sailgating being one of them. That means we tailgate on our speedboat, our yacht, or your little dinghy boat, whatever you've got on the Tennessee River right there, because it is right next to our stadium, Neyland Stadium. Pretty fun. So I want to tell you more about academics. We have 9 colleges to choose from. We do have a College of Agriculture. We have an ag campus. So agriculture is actually in our seal. We have a College of Architecture and Design, Arts and Sciences, where a key program I want to point out to you is our our program for forensic science. So we are home to the world's first body farm. Dr. Bill Bass founded it. We are an FBI training facility. People come from all over the world to study at our body farm and to train at our body farm. And we do have a forensic anthropology center. So if you love CSI, it's kind of like a CSI movie at the Forensic Anthropology Center, really neat. We also have our Haslam College of Business, where students have actually graduated millionaires from the opportunities they've had in that program. Who doesn't love that? Communication, information, health, education, human sciences. Another key point I want to point out to you is our College of Engineering. So I told you about our partnership with ORNL. So we have some really key one-off engineering programs like nuclear engineering, metallurgical engineering. We also have aerospace engineering. We have a space institute that is associated with our university. We have had 10 students go on in the last 35 years to become NASA astronauts. So our program really is out of this world. It's pretty great. We have direct entry nursing and a College of Social Work. So let me tell you about how to become a vol. So if you want to be a vol in progress or a VIP, who doesn't want to be a VIP, you can either go through the Common App or through our own application. That's vip.utk.edu. All the information that you need to do through the Common App is the same as our application. The only thing that you need to pay attention to is filling out your self-reported academic record. We do have competitive programs, so keep that in mind. We calculate your core GPA for you, so you don't have to worry about that. We will calculate it for you. We do weight your GPA, so we give you those extra credit points for all that hard work you've done. And these are the important deadlines. While we're on the screen, go ahead and take a look at it, but I want to let you know that we are test optional this year. So do not fly, do not drive, do not walk 500 miles to get to a testing facility if you don't have to for the schools you're applying to. We do not require that you submit a test. If you want to, we will accept it, but if you don't want to, you don't have to do it. So that's important for you to know. So the volunteer value for out-of-state students, you're going to look at around 43,166, and about 50% of our students graduate with zero debt. 93% of our students receive financial aid. So that number doesn't need to be scary. We do have test optional scholarships and test scholarships that are merit-based and are automatic. So they're not competitive. You automatically get them when you apply if you qualified. So you can see some of the numbers here. And we are a top 100 best value school. So like I said, we've got a lot of students who are receiving financial aid. It's because we gave out $73 million in awards and scholarships last year. That's a lot of money. It had to go to somebody, right? And y'all, with all of the good things that you've heard already, I'm sure you're super excited. You're ready to be a vol. But if that's not enough, let's talk a little bit about Tennessee traditions. So we do have, like I said, sailgating. We got 600 plus student clubs and organizations to be involved in. We do have Greek life, and we have intramurals, sports, programs abroad with 50 plus countries. We have living and learning communities, 13 residence halls, and we have career and development for you as a student as you continue through your career with University of Tennessee. So, of course, you already know it could take you a million places, either the White House or even the moon with your Tennessee degree. So if you want to know about how to become a Tennessee student, you can visit us at visit.utk.edu, or you can contact me. This is how you reach me right here. I would be so pleased to help you become a Tennessee volunteer. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And next, I'm not sure who I'm passing it off to. Oh, Cheryl with Drexel. What a dear friend. It's another person that I've been super, super excited to see. Cheryl, take it away, girl. So excited to be able to hear from you today.
Thanks, Jordan, and thanks so much for telling us all about Tennessee. I'm going to move us now a bit farther east to talk about Drexel, which is a large private tier 1 research university located right in Philadelphia. So we are very much an urban school. You'll see city streets running through campus, so taxis are going by. There are food trucks all over the place, which are fantastic. And then you'll see all the skyscrapers for Philadelphia right behind our campus. We're about a 25-minute walk to the very center of the city. But we have a full campus, much like UT. So we have residence halls. Students have to live on campus for their first 2 years. We have excellent student life, which I'll talk more about in just a minute. Campus is all in one area, so it takes 15-minute maximum to walk from one side of campus to another. We're not the type of city school where you have to take a shuttle all over the place to get to your classes and you're worrying, what if I miss the shuttle? Am I going to miss my class? It's not like that at Drexel. One other nice feature for where we're located in Philadelphia, our neighborhood is called University City because we're one of 3 universities there. So the University of Pennsylvania is right across the street from us, and then the University of the Sciences of Philadelphia is on the other side of Penn's campus. So altogether, there are about 40,000 college-age students in our neighborhood. So it's like someone took a college town and plunked it right down next to Center City, Philadelphia. Our student population on the undergrad side makes up about 15,000 of those 40,000 students in the area. So we are on the larger side for a private school, but you're not really going to notice that when it comes to your classroom experiences. You can see on your screen, median class size, student to faculty ratio are much smaller than you might expect for a school of Drexel's size, and we're very intentional about that. We have a strong focus on experiential education, so we do a lot of hands-on project-based learning, which is something that you just can't do in a large lecture hall. So you might have 1 or 2 larger lectures depending on your major, but you're not going to have many. Most of the classes that you do are going to be much smaller. You get to know your professors very well, even from your first year. So undergraduate students from the very beginning are working with faculty, not TAs. You might have a TA for like a lab or a recitation, but not for a full class. You do really get to engage with faculty and with research starting as early as your first year. We have over 80 majors across 15 colleges and schools, so there is a lot to choose from. Some of the things that we are most well known for are engineering, computer science, nursing, business, media arts and design. We have great programs in communication, psychology, we have public health. We even have a culinary arts bachelor's degree, which is very unusual for a tier 1 research university, but I mentioned that just to really give you an idea of the breadth of opportunities at Drexel. If you know what you want to study, you would apply directly to your major of interest. If you're not sure, no problem. We have great undeclared options within most of our colleges and schools, and a first-year exploratory studies program. But if you know what you want to study, you start taking classes in your major at the beginning. You don't do 2 years of gen eds first. You jump right into your curriculum. All of those general education classes are woven throughout your curriculum, and you are not restricted to the college or school that your major is in. You can take classes all across the university. You have room for a minor in a completely different area. We really want students to have those great cross-disciplinary experiences. I mentioned a minute ago that we do a lot of experiential education. The way that all of that comes together at Drexel is through our co-op program. Co-op stands for cooperative education. It's like a more in-depth version of an internship that's built into your degree. So it's a 6-month break from your classes where you are working in your field of interest. This is something we offer in every single program. It's a program we've offered for 101 years. So it's a big part of who we are. We have about 1,600 different employers we work with. And that's not just in Philadelphia. Because you're not in classes, you don't have to stay in Philly. So last year, students went to 22 states and 45 countries. Students work everywhere from small startups and nonprofits to really big companies like Google, Apple, Facebook, JP Morgan. We've had students at Boeing, NASA, the Pentagon, the FBI, the CIA, and many more, but it gives you the chance to try out your area of interest before you graduate to make sure it actually is what you want to do. These are typically full-time paid jobs, so you're working on real projects. You're not just the student intern, you're treated more like an entry-level employee. So you're building a really strong resume, you're building connections in your field. It really does help you when you graduate to have a strong resume, so that you're able to get a position that interests you in the world, in your field, or get into a great grad school, med school, law school. We do have grad programs, a med program, and law at Drexel as well, if you want to stay with us for those degrees. And then moving on from there to student life, I just want to tell you a little bit about what it's like being on campus at Drexel. Like I mentioned, we do have a 2-year residency requirement, so you'd be living on campus for those first 2 years, which helps to build a really strong sense of community and a lot lot of engagement. Students participate in over 300 clubs and, 350 clubs and organizations. We are Division I for sports. We have performing arts and Greek life. We are very involved in community service. That's something that's very important to us at Drexel. We really do want to be more than just a school that happens to be in Philadelphia. We want to be an active participant in everything that happens within the city. And then beyond the campus boundaries, there's so much you can do. I mean, we're located in the 6th largest city in the country, so there's always a lot happening. Philadelphia has great food, arts, culture, music, sports, and it's easy to get around. We have great public transportation, subways, trolleys, and buses that all stop on campus. And then the Amtrak hub for Philadelphia is right next to campus, so it's easy to get to other major cities and the airport as well. When it comes to the application process, we do holistic review. So we're looking at more than just your transcripts and your test scores if you choose to submit them. We are test optional for this year, though. We're looking at your activities, your essay, your letters of recommendation. We want to see that you as a full person, not just by the numbers, but you as a full person are a good fit for Drexel and that we are a good fit for you. We review everyone automatically for merit-based scholarships, so you don't have to apply for those, but you do have to submit the FAFSA and the CSS profile to be considered for need-based aid. Last year, 99.9% of our incoming class received some sort of aid from us, so most people are not paying the full cost of tuition, and the average aid package was around $30,000. So if you'd like to learn more, please reach out to me. I'm always happy to help. Also drop some information in the chat or in the, not information, drop questions in the Q&A. We are here to help. If you have questions about any of our universities, please drop them in there and we're happy to engage and tell you more. So now we're going to turn it over to Catherine with Spelman.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on today. Just give me one moment and I'll get my presentation up. All right. So welcome. Once again, my name is Catherine Hamlin. I am one of the admissions counselors at Spelman College. So I'm going to bring you all the way down to the south. So we're located in Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, we are called the Southern Little Hollywood, as I like to say. We're a private college, we're a liberal arts college, an all women's college, and we are a historically Black college and university. Now, yes, once again, we're located in Atlanta, Georgia, but we also are a part of the Atlanta University Consortium. So we sit right next door to our brother and sister school, Morehouse College, which is an all-men's college, and Clark Atlanta University, which is a co-ed university. So you're also able to cross-discipline at both Morehouse College and Clark Atlanta University tuition-free. Our population is around 2,100 students with a student-faculty ratio around 11:1. And our average class size rooms are small with around 23 students at max. Currently, we have around 34 different majors and minors at Spelman College. We have a dual degree engineering and dual degree nursing. And as you look onto the left side of the screen, we also have some popular programs of study for incoming students, such as biology, economics, English, psychology, and political science. Once again, going right back over to some of our popular programs also, which once again is our dual degree nursing and dual degree engineering programs. It's a 5-year program at Spelman College, so it'll be 3 years at Spelman and 2 years at a partner university, such as Georgia Tech, Georgia State, maybe it's Emory, North Carolina A&T, Duke. It all depends on the school and where you want to go. Now, also, we do have some pre-professional partnerships as well. We are the #1 school in the nation to send women of color off to get their PhDs in a STEM-related field. And so when you're thinking about possibly being interested in medicine or law, we have that opportunity. We do have some featured majors that are part of our arts division, such as documentary filmmaking, photography, art history, and curatorial studies. A lot of our faculty and staff, the great thing about our faculty and staff, that they're actually doing things within your major. So they're not just professors, they're actually working there in the majors. So if you are in your biology classes or your pre-held classes, most of those faculty and staff have their terminal degrees and are working within the field of health, or such as our arts division. I'm not sure if anyone is catching the HBU series Lovecraft. Well, one of our professors actually was just featured on last week's episode. So it just all depends on kind of what it is that you want. And as far as the school, we have a lot of mentor programs. And once again, the wonderful thing about Spelman College is our faculty and staff are just phenomenal in every way and are geared to mentor you in each division that you might be interested in. Now, of course, you have to be supported when you're at Spelman. And of course, that brings up career planning and development, freshman success program. We have a first generation success program. So if you are figuring out the next steps in your life, know that you will be supported at Spelman. We do have a student access center. So if you do need a little help with tutoring, or maybe and you need some extra time on your test, you will have that opportunity during our student access center. And of course, your mental well-being is so important to us, mental, physical, and spiritual. So we do have a counseling services center that is there for individual and group counseling. Now, 75% of our students study abroad. So I will definitely tell you, I know we're in the midst of a pandemic right now, but that does not stop your appetite for wondering and really being able to push forward in this world. And so we do have some experimental learning opportunities. You're able to travel through Africa, Europe, Caribbean, South and Central America, and Asia, and of course, other parts of the globe. Currently, our students that were qualified for studying abroad for this year are currently doing online global studies. I know it's nothing like being able to really have that tangible experience, but one thing that we want you all to know is that you can make the best of your experience no matter where it might be. So really think outside the box when you're thinking about some opportunities for your educational adventures. We also, of course, are involved with student life and engagement. And so please make sure you are abreast of a lot of opportunities. No matter any of our schools have opportunities for you to be engaged. But as I finish up, let's talk a little bit about the Spelman woman, okay? What does that look like? What does she look like? Once again, we are a historically Black college and university, and we're an all-women's college. That does not mean that we only accept women of color. We accept all women. Men, unfortunately, you are not able to come to Spelman College, but you can go to our brother school, which is right next door. You are able to take classes once again with us. However, at Spelman College is only for Spelman women. And so that brings me once again to our strong academic curriculum. First and foremost, for this year, we are test optional. So we are test optional for the 2021 to 2021 academic school year. My apologies. When you were thinking about our average GPA, we have our averages around a 3.7. Now, although we are test optional, we encourage you all, if you can, still submit those SAT or ACT scores. As you see to the right is our averages. But moving beyond the test scores and our averages, we also are looking for college prep courses. So make sure that you are detailed in the application process. We're only located on the Common Application, so please submit an essay, 2 letters of recommendation, and remember to brag on yourself. If you don't tell me how amazing you are, I will not know. So really push forward in that application process and be as detailed as possible. Once again, if you're able to test, feel free to send those scores in. Once again, no pressure if not. We do have some early decisions and some deadlines coming up, such as November 1st and November 15th. So those are coming up. I can't believe we're almost in November. So students, make sure you do your due diligence and really putting forth as much effort as possible when it comes to this college application, not just for Spelman, but for all of the colleges that are currently on this call. Now, tuition and scholarships, the one thing I would tell you to do is please, please, please look for outside scholarships, although we do have a full list of inside scholarships as well. Our scholarships are only for new first-time students. We have about 150 scholarships that we give out yearly. And so make sure that, once again, that when you apply to Spelman and you use that Common Application, that you're detailed. All students that apply to Spelman will be evaluated for scholarships. Our scholarship consideration will begin at a 3.7 this year. Once again, test scores are not needed. If you all have any specific questions regarding Spelman College, one thing that I suggest you do is please visit our website. Once again, my name is Catherine Hamlin. I am the West Coast counselor. Feel free to take a screenshot of this, and I will be delighted to help you in the application process. All right, thank you so much.
Well, welcome. I first of all want to thank all of the attendees who are still with us. And I also want to thank my presenters. It was outstanding. I had a good time. The one thing neat about being last is you get to listen to everybody else out there. My name is Dan Seidman. I am the West Coast Regional Admissions Counselor with Michigan State University. And if you see on the bottom of my picture right there, you see my email address. It is seidman@msu.edu. I am certain that I am not going to cover everything that I need to cover tonight for you. So please reach out. Again, seidman@msu.edu. I'm going to get my screen shared here and go through our process. Just give me a second and we'll go from there. All right, Michigan State University. We are located in East Lansing, Michigan. And again, you have my information right there. Please reach out to me. We are a member of the Big Ten Conference athletically. And that word big, I'm going to probably say that more times tonight than I should, but I think it's just about right. We are a big school. We embrace our size. We like to say that there are things that you can do to make a big school feel very small, and we do those. Michigan State University is also a Tier 1 research university, and we are also a member of the Association of American Universities, one of 65 universities in North America with that distinction. So we are a large research university, but we still have the heart and soul of an undergraduate program. For this fall, as you've heard from most of the other schools, we are also test optional, not only for getting admitted, but also for scholarships. So now the one caution about our application this year is if you choose to go test optional and not submit a test, you will not be able to reapply with a test at some other time. On the other hand, if you decide that you are going to submit with a test, we will expect you to submit that test. We will not say, oh, it's okay that you did not submit one. So think about that. And again, if you have any questions or concerns about the issue with test optional and maybe should I do read the applications. So if you talk with me, I can tell you what might be the better way for you to head. A little bit about Michigan State University. As you see there, one of the probably somewhere between 6th or 7th largest school in the country. And we also taught, you see our freshman classes last year shade over 8,000. This tells you a little bit about what our freshman class looked like. The average GPA, in other words, the students who ranged between a 26th and 75th percent of our class had those grades. So if you're a little bit lower than that, we could probably accommodate you. And it's obviously the same if you were a little bit higher. Every major that you could possibly imagine. We have 17 degree granting colleges. We have some residential colleges, which are very exciting. It is one of the ways that we use to make this large university seem very small. We have multiple other learning and living environments, again, to make it very personal. So you can be involved with a large university, but yet have many contacts and friends and feel very much a part of something. We have a 16-to-1 student-faculty ratio, and many schools are going to tell you about their student-to-faculty ratio. That's interesting, and technically it's correct, but I think that the second statement there is of more value to you. We, as a large public university, we will have some classes that will be large in size. None of our classes may be taught by teaching assistants. Even if it is a large class with teaching assistants doing that, assisting in the teaching, it is taught by a professor. But the second important thing to see there is that 3 out of 4 of our classes have 50 students or fewer in them. Here are some of the kind of unique and interesting things about Michigan State University academically. Our honors program is the oldest honors program in the country, and quite a large honors program. And it can come with some very interesting financial support. We have one of the largest education abroad programs. We go literally everywhere. And if you are a science or a engineering major and you've always wanted to spend a couple weeks in Antarctica, that may be possible for you. As an out-of-state student, we'll also provide some scholarship money specifically for study abroad. Our entrepreneurship program, running your own and operating your own business, is quite interesting in that it does not stand alone. It will stand with another program. And then you saw the residential colleges and residential program options, again, whether it's engineering or business or in the social sciences, pre-law, pre-med, and the residential college in arts and humanities, all exciting, neat residential options. A little bit more about what to do on campus, about everything you could possibly imagine. We'll come back to the word big. We are the biggest in one location university in the country as far as space. We take up a lot of space. A lot of it is dedicated to some of our critters, our cows and our horses and all that good kind of stuff, because we were the premier, we were the first land grant school in the country. You see, we have 900 plus student organizations. Certainly we have sororities and fraternities. Well, we're the Spartans, so if anyone's going to have a Greek system, we talk about the different concerts. You see that in addition to the Division I sports, we have numerous club sports and many times multiple levels in those club sports. Someone was asking me about women's ice hockey, and we have 2 club levels of women's hockey. I was talking yesterday about performance groups and our musical performance groups, which are not only limited to our music majors, but that we have, for example, in our vocal groups, we have 8 chorales, we have a men's and women's groups, so numerous opportunities to do almost anything you want. We do have the Red Cedar River going right through our campus, so you can fool around with that too. Financing your education, we will give need-based scholarship, merit-based. We have more jobs than students to fill them. And if you look at the bottom one, that's kind of important. If you are a military dependent, we will give you in-state tuition for that. Return on investment, we have one of the best career placement systems in the country, and it goes along with our companion undergraduate research. One of the nation's the largest non-military dining and housing system in the country, and all types of food in a variety of locations. And there again is where we are and how you can get to our campus, and in the town of East Lansing. Looking forward to receiving and reviewing your applications. Thanks for your time. Michigan State University, go green.
Thanks to all the presenters tonight. We've still got a minute or here. Do we have any students that want to, of course, ask questions? Feel free to, the chat room is open. I see we've still got a couple of students. Anybody want to ask a question before we wrap up this evening, folks? All right, well, with that, then I will thank all of our presenters for this evening. Appreciate your time and professionalism. Certainly to all the attendees and students, good luck to you on your decision. There will be other sessions to sign up for. Certainly encourage you to do that. As well as when we finish here, there will be a quick 4-question survey. Would appreciate you filling out that. So on behalf of all the universities and institutions, my name is Jeff. You guys have a great evening. Thanks so much for joining us. Bye-bye.